Hey everyone, today we're tackling a classic Photoshop frustration. You're trying to move part of an image, but nothing's happening. If you've run into this problem, you're in the right place, as by the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly how to unlock those stubborn layers, make a clean selection, and move anything you want with confidence. So let's jump straight to it. And along the way, I'll share a few tips to make this process smooth and frustration-free. First things first. You might not be able to move part of an image in Photoshop because of one simple reason. The layer you're working on is locked. This happens pretty often with background layers or smart objects, and Photoshop does this by design to prevent accidental changes. So before you try anything else, check your Layers panel over on the right. Do you see a little lock icon next to the layer you want to work with? If so, this layer isn't editable yet. Here's what you want to do. If you're dealing with a background layer, that's the one that usually says background and sits at the bottom, just right-click on it and select Rasterize or Convert to Layer. What this does is unlock the layer, so now Photoshop will let you edit, move, and manipulate its contents. If you have a smart object instead, you'll need to right-click and choose Rasterize Layer. But here's a quick word of caution. Rasterizing a smart object means you're flattening it, so any smart filters or linked edits will be lost. Make sure you're okay with that before you continue. With your layer unlocked, the next thing is super important. Make absolutely sure you're working on the correct layer. Photoshop lets you stack images and artwork in layers, almost like sheets of paper in a notebook. If you try to move something on the wrong layer, it'll feel like trying to move a picture that's stuck under a lot of other stuff. In your Layers panel, click once on the layer you want to edit so it's highlighted. If you're ever unsure, just turn off all the other layers using those little eye icons. You'll be able to see exactly what's on the layer you've selected. Now, let's talk about actually selecting the part of the image you want to move. You need to use a selection tool. Most commonly, that's the marquee tool, but you might also use the lasso tool or quick selection, depending on what you're working with. The big thing here is to take your time and make sure your selection includes the full area you want. Clicking and dragging with the marquee gives you a rectangular selection, which works great for boxes or simple shapes. For complicated outlines, the lasso tool is your best friend. Once your selection is active, you'll see those marching ants around the edge. There are two main ways to move your selection. First, you can simply click inside the selection and drag it to a new spot. Sometimes, this part takes a few seconds for Photoshop to catch up, especially if you're working with a large image. If you notice nothing's moving, double-check that you're really clicking inside the selection, not outside. But what if you want even more control, like editing that selected part separately, applying filters, or resizing just the part you selected? Here's what I recommend. After you make your selection, cut or copy it. Hug Ctrl+X or Ctrl+C, and then paste it, Ctrl+VE. Photoshop will automatically place it on a new layer. This gives you full flexibility. Now you can move, scale, rotate, or tweak just that area without affecting the rest of your image. Think of this like peeling a sticker off a page and putting it wherever you want. And that's really all there is to it. Troubleshooting these roadblocks is part of learning Photoshop, so don't worry if you run into locked layers or weird selection quirks along the way. Sometimes things just don't move because of a simple detail, and with these steps, you'll be able to flow past those problems in no time. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to hit that like button, and if you have any questions, or if Photoshop is still giving you trouble, drop a comment below. I always love hearing from you guys and helping where I can. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more Photoshop guides like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.